Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. I'm Kenny Fogle, your host, and glad you could be with us. And it's that time of year again where we're going to talk a bit about what's coming up this summer. And one of the things that's sort of a staple been coming up this summer, we're going to ask Johnny Warren here with us, the Executive Director of the Stephen Foster Drama Association. Exactly how many years has this been going on now, Johnny?
This is our 59th season
59.
of producing the Stephen Foster story, which of course is what our company was created for and what the amphitheater at Mile Kentucky Home State Park was built for. So we're just proud as can be to be rolling into 59 seasons. It's unbelievable.
Well, let's talk. First of all, I want to welcome you to the show here because I know you're quite busy because this time of year you're auditioning. Well, I think you probably got that part done now. Audition's done. Now we're just in rehearsals. What are we doing right today?
Yeah, the audition process is over, but I have not finalized the cast for the Stephen Foster story and our second Broadway production this summer, which is Beauty and the Beast. Very excited about that. And I'm about halfway through the casting process for those shows.
Now, what does that mean? Does that mean deciding what role they're going to play? Or?
That means I go through an audition season where I see between 800 and 1,000 people audition for a part in the Stephen Foster story and Beauty and the Beast. Our cast members are almost always in both of our shows.
Right.
And so after I get through those auditions, then it's a process of seeing what we have to work with, finding out who wants to return or who is able to return from the previous season, and then offering contracts. All of our cast members are professional and they're paid to perform, and so there's a contract negotiation period that follows before we can finalize that cast list. And so that's what I'm in the midst of right now, is filling in all the spots, getting all of our contracts signed, and that takes quite a while to get through that process.
I'm sure it does. Actors, I know actors are not always the best paid in the world, but they can be very temperamental sometimes.
That is true with creative people, as we know. But I have a great fortune of working with fantastic people, both returning year after year to the Stephen Foster story cast. And also I get, in my audition process, I get an opportunity to meet some of the most talented young music and music theater performers at some of the universities in our region. So it's a fantastic opportunity for us to go out and meet talent and hopefully bring some great talent to
Well, while we're still on talent, I know this is a conversation we have every single year about how many people have come through and went on to Broadway, television, movies. So when we talk talent, we're talking talent. We're not just talking the run-of-the-mill people. You're drawing some people from all over the world to come be in this show.
It's true. About half of our cast is made up of a Kentuckian of some sort, whether that's someone from right here in our community, Bardstown, Nelson County, and surrounding counties, or Louisville, Lexington. And then the other half is made up of performers from all over the country who may come to us for just one summer or a couple of summers. But no matter the case, whether they're what we consider local, regional, or a cast member from somewhere else in the country, we have so many who leave us to go on to things such as Broadway, movies, television. It really has become a trend that and now that social media is such a part of our everyday life, we get to track that and we get to share those opportunities with our followers when one of our cast members leaves us to join a television show, for example.
Well, we got to the casting now. Let's talk a bit about the Stephen Foster story. I know we're celebrating Paul Green here a little while back. We were talking about him, and the original show changed over the years. And then you were slowly going back toward the original show. Where are you at right now? I know you like to mix it up just a little bit different every year.
Every year, the Stephen Foster story is just a little bit different. And just a brief recap of the history of the script, written by Paul Green originally about a 3-hour script that the audience never saw the full thing, but the script that was performed for so many years was what we consider the original Paul Green script. in the 90s, that was changed considerably. A total rewrite of the show written by a New York playwright named Jonathan Bolt. And that script ran for several years. And then, I'm going to say 8 years before I started directing, the director at the time started to pull in bits and pieces of the original script. And what we found was that especially people who return year after year to the Stephen Foster story had a real fondness for that original Paul Green script. And so over several years, we slowly brought pieces and pieces back from the original script. And right now we're as close to the original script as we've ever been. There are a few lines here and there from the Jonathan Bolt rewrite, but 95% Paul Green original script, which is a testament to his ability as a playwright and his ability to capture both a time period, a love story, a story of a young man with a dream, an artist with a desire and a need to share his art that resonates still today. Yeah. It's a fantastic piece of work, that script in itself, before we do anything to it. And then we like to think that we bring some creativity, some beautiful costumes, some fantastic singing to it to create a piece of music theater that stands the test of time.
And it has stood the test of time. But moving on to Stephen Foster's story, I know that's the staple of what you've got. You got the second time, it's the Beauty and the Beast. Now, it was I'm sure that tied in a little bit with the fact you knew the movie was coming out.
Well, yes.
What was the decision behind that?
Beauty and the Beast is a Broadway musical that we've wanted to produce for several years. And obtaining the rights to produce a musical is not something that's just a given. There's an application process, and we've applied for Beauty and the Beast multiple times and haven't been able to secure it. And so this year, knowing that the movie was coming out in March and that there would be a multi-million-dollar television ad campaign, and if you walk down the toy aisle at the local store, you're going to see Beauty and the Beast everywhere. Of course, that was a great time for us to try again to secure the rights to Beauty and the Beast, and we were so fortunate this time to get the opportunity to do it.
Now, when you get the rights, that means nobody else right in this area can have it as well. I mean, you've got the rights for a particular area and a particular time.
That's right. Yeah, it's a time frame and a geographic radius that no other company such as ours, I will say, would be able to perform Beauty and the Beast. And so we're just as excited as can be to have Beauty and the Beast this summer, and it brings all the magic of Disney. It's such a cool show to present outdoors. That brings some challenges. When you think of putting a show on our stage in the wide open outdoors, we have to encounter things such as we have no ceiling to fly somebody from. A lot of the production of Beauty and the Beast will float up in the air and transform. So we have to be creative about how to deal with that. The biggest challenge is that for the entire first hour of the show, we can't have a blackout of any sort to do any scene change or costume change because it's broad daylight. Yeah. So those are some of the challenges unique to our venue.
I still remember the tornado at the Wizard of Oz. I wondered how you were going to do that.
Yeah, but that's part of the fun and the creativity of staging Broadway musicals in our space, is that we get to tackle those challenges and figure out how to pull those iconic moments of favorite shows such as Beauty and the Beast off in our space.
And you hit the nail on the head right there, Broadway musicals. I mean, a lot of people, and I've never been to Broadway, as a matter of fact, never been to New York City, and may never go, but for somebody that doesn't make it to New York City very often, or Broadway, this is about as close as most people's going to get, and they're going to see a Broadway-style musical with Broadway-style talent.
That's exactly right. We're so fortunate to be able to provide what we do in this community, which is a level of talent that is equal to any other professional company around the country. And so, and we know that so many of our performers leave us and go straight to Broadway. So it's definitely, we have no reservations at all suggesting that someone come see our shows with the expectation of seeing a Broadway show.
Yeah.
It is that caliber, it is that quality of talent and production value, and we're proud to continue to present those kind of shows.
And you don't have enough to do, so you decide to do some concerts during the year. So you've already released your list of concerts, and I would be honest with you, there were some really nice ones. I went to the kickoff you had, and and when you announced them, I said, I think you got a few winners here. So tell us a little bit about who we got going to be seeing and when we're going to be seeing them.
Thank you. Our Live at the Park concert series is another important part of the products that we present every summer, and we just rolled out the lineup. So many in our community are hanging on the edge of their seats waiting to see what it is that we're going to have this summer, and hoping that some of their favorites might come back or that we're going to have their style of music featured. And so it's a big challenge every year to cover all the bases, to provide all kinds of different music for all kinds of different age groups. And we think we've done that this year. The very first concert is one of the most unique shows that we've ever had. It's called Yacht Rock Review, and it is a tribute band that performs light rock hits of the 70s. So that covers so many different artists, such as Hall & Oates, Toto, Bee Gees, Lionel Richie, some Michael Jackson even, Michael McDonald, all kinds of radio hits from the 70s, which is unique for our classic rock type genre, because typically when we search for a classic rock act, that radio-friendly kind of hit is not what you find.
Yeah.
So this radio-friendly 70s vibe is going to be really cool and really fantastic way to kick off the summer. And that's on June 19th, on Monday night.
And most of these are on Monday night till you get toward the end of the year, right?
This year we have 4 Monday nights and 1 Friday night.
Oh, okay.
And so several reasons for that. Firstly, the Stephen Foster Story is dark on Monday nights. We don't have a performance of Stephen Foster Story on Mondays, and that's where this idea originated for the Monday night concert series. Since the beginning, we have added some weekend nights at the end of the season once Stephen Foster is closed when we can, and this year we do have 1 Friday night. Next up is Monday, July 17th, Nashville country duo called Love and Theft. Now, Love and Theft had a major #1 hit in 2009 called Angel Eyes. A lot of people will be familiar with that. They've had 3 other charted hits over the past several years. They took some time off over the past 2 years. They each had a child. It's 2 guys, and they each actually got married and had children and have now come back on the scene. They've just finished their 4th studio album, and the latest single from that has released. It's called Love Wins. Check it out on YouTube or on their Facebook page. Great song, great Nashville talent, typical of our young country music night. So that's Love and Theft. On Monday, August 7th, we bring back a favorite. It's now a tradition at my own Kentucky home to have the Monarchs. And you know, the Monarchs play good time, oldies, rock and roll from the 50s, 60s, and some 70s, which you might think is for such a specific audience. But what we found is these guys put on such a fantastic show. They have such great energy that we have an audience of all different ages. Fantastic night, great fun, great live music. Kentucky group, the Monarchs, that everybody in this region knows so well. Continuing with the oldies genre is our Monday, August 21st, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, which were hit makers of the 60s. Lots of hit songs like Woman, Woman, Lady Willpower, Over You, Young Girl. Lots of oldies hits that people will recognize. And this is the second time we've had Gary Puckett at the amphitheater. Believe it or not, 12 years ago was the last time he was here.
I remember that.
Yeah. Most people have been really shocked to know it's been that long. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but yeah. But that'll be a great night of music too. And specifically, we're bringing that oldies genre back because we haven't in a couple of years. It's been about 4 years since we've had a name oldies act.
Davy Jones, Peter
Davy
Noon,
exactly, the
those
Spinners, all
yeah.
those groups that famous oldies artists we haven't had for a few years. So this was the year to bring them back, and so far our audience has shown that they were waiting for it. Ticket sales have been great for that show.
Good.
And then we'll round out the series with a Friday night Draw the Line, which is an Aerosmith tribute.
And when you showed the video, the first thing you looked like Stevie Tyler himself was coming. So,
right?
Because the guy really got him down.
Yeah. There are, of course, lots of Aerosmith tributes out there. Lots of tributes of all the bands that we have. We're very particular about the tributes that we have. The Stephen Foster story is all about singing, and that's kind of where our heart is, and that's what we look for in a tribute band. It's the voice and it's the music, and I really look for tribute bands that have strong vocalists and strong instrumentalists who can really play this music and really sing this music. And of course, we know all the Aerosmith hits, and it'll be a great night to wrap up the summer, kind of rocking out together at Mile Kentucky.
Well, and you said the right word, rocking out, because if you've not been to one of these concerts, it is a rocking concert, and the way it's set up, the sound really just resonates down in that little valley, I guess you'd say, and it just you just feel like you're part of the concert.
Yeah, it's really unique venue, and of course we have sound amplification. But the fact that this amphitheater was built into a natural bowl in the side of the landscape really does acoustically create this awesome experience where you feel like you're right in the midst of the action. And so we hope everybody will come out and take advantage of what we have right here in Bardstown.
And to take advantage of it, they have to buy tickets.
That's right.
And we need and I know you have season tickets. You can sell each one of them individually. It's every house somebody wants to do. If they want to pick and choose who they like, or if they want to watch them all.
Yeah, we make it as easy as possible for you to buy tickets. You can visit us at the box office. You can give us a call, or you can purchase tickets on our website too. StephenFoster.com is our website. We have a season ticket available for $140. That includes 5 concerts, a ticket to the Stephen Foster story, and a ticket to the Beauty and the Beast, which is a great value. Or if you'd like to pick and choose and come to 1, 2, 3 shows, you can do that too. And tickets are, whether individual or season tickets, are
a little cheaper if you get them ahead of time. But if you get them around the show, then you still get tickets a lot. Sometimes they're sold out.
Sometimes we do sell out, and so that incentive to save $3 and go ahead and buy your tickets now and not wait until the day of the show, of course, that helps us plan a little bit, and it encourages our audience to go ahead and buy those tickets and save $3.
All right. Well, like I said, it's one of the premier places. If you're coming to Bardstown in Nelson County, you think about what you're going to do. The Stephen Foster J.D. Talbot Amphitheater, that's the place to be because there's so much going on. Do you take a day off between now? When's the next day you got off? It's sometime in October, November?
Yeah, October. Yeah, I'll get some time off in October. Until then, it's full steam ahead, bringing you as many shows and as much music as we can.
All right. Well, again, give them a call down at the amphitheater. Check them out at StephenFoster.com. It's easy. It's an easy website to remember, just to check out. It's got all the information you want on there with concerts and links to other things as well. So check that out. And Johnny, we do appreciate, I know you're busy right now, but I appreciate you taking the time out to share this with us to let us know what's going on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me today.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for being here. And again, there's something always going on down at the amphitheater. So if you say you're in Bardstown, Nelson County, or anywhere within the sound of my voice, you say, well, there's nothing to do, you haven't checked out StephenFoster.com, because there's always something to do. Stick around. A lot more to come here on Channel 6 TV. We'll be right back.